Who are you guys most worried about for Madrid?
Go on.
Who are you most worried about for Madrid?
Mikel Arteta.
What do you mean?
I mean, he's got to get his tactics dead right. I don't think you should sit back and defend in this game because you could get done. If you get attacked, you could get. I think this is the game plan has got to be spot on, boys. It was spot on Tuesday in the first game. It's got to be spot on in the second one. It's not it's not just one leg. You've got to do it over two legs, and you've got to. That's what is fascinating about Champions League, because there's different scenarios, different tactics, and you have to be able to do that. George Graham was fantastic at doing that. Yeah. And this is something that Mikel, I think, is good enough to do it. But it's going to be really, really interesting what tactics that he does bring out there, because I think if you sit there back and defend, the chances are they will score.
I don't know, Lee. I mean, I think you're right. I think you're bang on, Lee, in terms of the most important, well, not the most important person, but a key figure for us is Arteta and how he sets us up. I was saying before the first leg that I really wanted him to be better over two-legged ties, and he managed, and the tactics employed in the first leg were absolutely perfect. They couldn't have gone any better, bar maybe one or two more goals. But I do think that the way to go is to defend. I don't think we can go out there from the get-go and try and go toe-to-toe, because if we go toe-to-toe, even though they're not a great team on great form, I think that if there's gaps, they'll open us up and they'll score. What are our strengths? We're stronger defensively than we are offensively. The only good thing in our favor is that we've got a 3-goal lead, so we don't have to necessarily be great offensively. I think our strengths are defensively. If we can frustrate them, if we can almost kill their soul and spirit, half time, we can't get a look in. We can't. If we're so tight they can't get through, we break their spirit. I think that's the way to go. I think if we try and go early and try and score a goal, I think we might get stung. Cut now in the edit, Ryan, to Arsenal scoring after 3 minutes, and we go 4-0 up in the tie. But I think personally, defending for the first half anyway, and just preserving the lead.
You need a threat.
No, we need that's where the attackers he picks come into play. We need an outlet. You can't just bank in for 90 minutes, of course. But I think that the emphasis needs to be on solid, frustrate, nothing gets through, and then get through the game, and then you can open up as the game plays out.
I think Arsenal under Arteta typically get that balance quite right. I think we have in the last year or so got a lot better at wanting to, recognise we have a bit of the ball, keeping it for a bit, started to just shuffle the team back, getting a little bit of territory, and I don't know, getting some sort of foothold in the game, and then recognising we're under the cosh and dropping into a shape. I think the 2-2 game with the Etihad before the red card, if you look at that first half, I think we had the balance really good in that game. Anfield, last time we went there, the 1-1, just before Christmas, I think, 2023. We were under the cosh for periods of that game, but then I thought we ended the game, the team most likely to score and get the winner. I think we're a team that can get that balance right. It'll all be about the players understanding on the day, recognising. It'll be about the leaders, the communication. Ødegaard, Rice, all these players have to pull everyone in when it's, everyone get tight. We're going to have to suffer a little bit here. Let's get through. And then someone that's why the Partey injury could be such a disappointment. Someone will need to get on the ball at some point and say, right, let's just calm this down and string a few passes together. What I do like is I don't think Rice has Partey's guile in midfield, but I do think he can still pass and move and sort of keep things ticking. What I do like is if you lose the ball, I like that Rice is there. And what I did struggle with, even though we were great, I struggled with the amount of times we did lose possession against Madrid high up the pitch, and Rice had so far to come back. And he is a one-man machine in there when he's playing as the 6 in terms of cleaning up. I don't mind if they're running at Saliba, Kivior and Rice. And Partey actually defended really well against Real Madrid at home. Let me not take that away from him. I'm talking about the energy and legs to get across. And I actually don't think Mourinho would even go that high up the pitch if he was playing as the left A next to Rice. That's kind of one dynamic I don't mind about it being those two. But I do worry that without Partey there, or even Jorginho, I'm being deadly serious. Who's
do you
the guy?
They play 2 6s, James?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, because I think we'll have so little of the ball that it will basically be 2 in front of the centre backs. It might even be Ødegaard. Ødegaard might have to drop back, not as a 1 and 6, but playing in his kind of 8, 10, whatever we call it. He might have to be the one that at times drops back and says, "Let's just get on the ball and keep it moving a bit." And we're also going to be relying on our outlets. Saka and Martinelli, I think, have a big job, not just tracking back and helping, but when we do get the ball forward, their decision making needs to be good. Can you win us a foul? Can you buy us a minute? Can you even if you beat your fullback and suddenly, there's a bit of panic in the stadium. You talk about sort of taking the kind of hope and belief out of them because we defend really well and they're not getting through. But a lot of that work will be done by the Madrid fans going, bloody hell, Saka and Martinelli, every time they get the ball, I feel like they're going to score. I've had that where we've been dominant at the Emirates and we're playing against maybe Tottenham at their best. And you feel like Son was always a threat on the counter. Rashford is always a threat on the counter-attack. I think we need to provide that. But it's all about finding balance. I think Arsenal do get it right most of the time, but it's going to be a really tricky one because there'll be a lot of pressure. Let's not overlook nerves. Let's not overlook the weight of all this.
I was just going to say, guys, how much do you think the Bernabéu factor will play on our team? Because we've got some players that have, like Rice and Saka, have been to finals and won stuff. But then you've got Lewis Skelly and David Raya and other players that they wouldn't have been in an environment like this, especially with a Real Madrid fan base and team that are 3 down, are going to be from minute 1 loud on it. Do you know what I mean? How much do you think the Bernabéu will play a role in this game?
They wasn't familiar to last week either, and they turned them over 3-0. So that's what they got to use, the spirit of the last 90, because we dominated. I know it's Bernabéu and it's a different entity, and Real have pulled off magic there many a time. But I think the players have shown, especially considering we don't lose to big teams anymore, like big 6 sides. It's been years. Look at the way we put like Bayern Munich last year. They edged us. We probably should have done better, but they edged us. So we're generally competitive in games. Couple that up with we haven't conceded more than 3 goals in a long, long time, since a couple seasons ago. Man City, I think 4-1. I just think that they've shown. Like you mentioned, Lewis Skelly, for example, he's been one of our most mature players this season. So that's where I get the belief that like even the Haaland thing with him. I'm not saying Haaland's Real Madrid, but what I'm saying is in that moment, Haaland is the Premier League's best striker overall the last couple of years, and he's going not toe to toe, but chucking it back at him. I think he's well primed, and he's the youngest player that's going to be on the pitch for us, let alone everyone else. I think I think this could be really like not only the 2 goals, but the goal, his part to play in the Brentford goal as well. The sweeping, counter-attacking move. He was running on the ball through the midfield. There was no midfield, but across the pitch. Like this could be not that he hasn't been he was great in his first season, and he's been good for us this season. But I mean, in terms of taking on that role as the difference maker, because I've been always calling for buying difference makers, because we haven't got enough. Saka's been a difference maker for time. Rice, in a different way, with his set pieces, a couple of free kicks the other day, that running mid, he's becoming a more consistent difference maker. So yeah, I feel the mentality's there. That's why I'm confident, because I think we score and they don't score 4.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I still think it's 60-40 out in our favour. You know what I mean?
60-40.
Going to be a tough game. Listen, it's 50-50 at 2-0 as far as I'm concerned. This won't be an easy night, boys. It won't be an easy night.
80-20. What are we saying?
I think 80-20, yeah.
I'm more 60-40, I've got to say. Do you know what
me and Jordan are the positive ones?
No, it's not about being positive.
And your head's in shame.
Listen, no, I'm planning that we'll be either going to Birmingham or
Paris.
I am thinking that, but there's a little thing in my mind saying, look, this is not over yet. Like I remember, it has happened before. I remember Barcelona, Liverpool. Momentum and things like that. It can happen.
If we mess this up, Lee.
Listen, mess it up. It ain't about messing it up, is it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Real Madrid are capable of beating teams 3-0 at any stage of any competition.
I think that's what people are missing here. Like, there's two things. Can Real Madrid score 3 against us? They can. Secondly, though, that's what they need to do. When you know the assignment, the approach is different.
Yeah.
I weirdly think it's more likely they beat us 3-0 now than if we'd won the first leg 2-1. Because I would have gone, nah, they won't score 3. I think, you know, they need, because they only need 1 or 2, and we'll be. They know what they have to do. They absolutely know what they have to do. One thing I do think is I don't think they need to score 3. I think they need to score 4, because I think we'll score there. That's the only thing that's in my mind. That's what makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about it. By the way, I'm not saying we're going to concede 3. I saw us. Luton was 4-3. Yeah, I saw a stat. I think that was the last time we talked on the pod. I might be wrong. Kivio, I don't think is like that stat again that did the rounds. I don't think he's ever lost a game. No, so he hasn't lost in his last 18 starts or something. So
not lost with Saliba. Was that something I heard?
That is the. I think that's the stat. Mm-hmm. He's never lost when he's played with Saliba. I think you're right. So that looks nice, doesn't it?
What's the midfield going to be? Because Camavinga's out. So who? Do they go Modric again?
Sure, maybe, I think.
Okay.
Well, it's interesting because...
Did he play today?
Because I don't know if they're going to... I think Valverde should be in midfield against us. I think we ran all over them, and they should be getting Valverde, Bellingham, and Tchouaméni as their 4. As their 3, sorry.
Yeah.
And Modric is terrific. So they might go Valverde at right back, but I think they should go with Vázquez. So I don't know. That's another thing that's going to be interesting. I think they'll definitely get Bellingham up the pitch a little bit more in this next game as well. Try to get him into more goal-scoring positions.
They're going to need to.
He was doing a lot of defensive work against us and struggled.
Cool.
Don't mess this up, boys. Don't mess this up.
Indeed. Prediction table back up. James top, Jordan second. I'm third, Lee's fourth. No change there.
I've not given up James. I've not given up James yet. I'm not, there's still a glimmer. There's still a glimmer.
Listen, I'm the guy who's nervous about being 3-0 up, so I'm not writing anything off Jordan.
James, what are you saying? 12 correct scores up. What are you going for?
I think we're going to lose 2-1 and go through.
Lose 2-1, Jordan.
I'm running out of games now, so I've got to go different. I was going to go 2-1 as well.
What, to Real Madrid?
I was, yeah. Okay, let's go. Oh, sorry, I was gonna go 2-1. That's messed me up now.
Ad break, people. We'll be back in 4 minutes.
Sorry.
Yeah, the goal finished 4 hours ago.
Yeah, you know, like Turkish got to get to Spain.
I know, my ride's outside. Is it 7? Fucking hell.
Actually, the result's just in.
Bear with me. It's a big moment. It's a big moment. I've got to get this right. Hang on. Oh,
it's all right, Jordan. I'm looking for my comment of the day anyway. Carry on, take your time.
I'm actually this podcast. I'm setting it to come out at 7 a.m. I'm going out at 7 a.m. So comments, I'm gonna be right with you at 7 a.m. So make sure they're good.
all right. I'm gonna go. Shit, I wanted 2-1. Let's go.
This is extraordinary. Just pick 2 numbers. Just say 2 numbers. Any 2 numbers.
1-1.
1-1.
I don't believe that, but 1-1. Sod it.
That was the second. That's the score I believe the second most. So there we go.
1-1. 2-2. 2-2.
I love that. 2 goals of the Bernabéu.
Yeah. Let's go for it. Come on, like 1-0 with the Arsenal.
Go on, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
Another clean sheet. Can you
Henry-esque. Come on. Let's do it again.
If it ends 0-0, am I allowed to celebrate this one?
Ask Twitter.
You do what you want.
If we lose 1-0, you're allowed to celebrate.
Yeah.
You don't want to
2-0
know
to celebrate.
my celebrations if that ends 0-0.
Oh, just quickly though, if it goes penalties, are we concerned about David Raya?
Yes.
Yeah.
They got the better goalkeeper, so they'll be favourites.
He keeps diving so early.
It's mad.
Anyway.
Yova must be in his ear as well, trying to tell him something.